This video is showing how to get through the Theoretician Lab for the Determining Earth's Interior Lab. On Canvas, underneath Labs, I've got a couple links here for this lab report. The first one is directions, and the second one's where you're going to submit it when it's all said and done. So you can find some information on the directions portion. Last week, we went through the first steps here where we started our lab report. And so you have a lab report started that's got the question and hypothesis. I'll get back to that research in just a moment. You've got a copy of the theoretician document right here. It's the worksheet that you and your partner have. So if you need to access that when you're outside of class, there's where you find it. So we did, depending on what class you're in, we've done some of these steps already. So most of you are either at or just finished step 4, where we're doing this. You draw a line from the epicenter to the middle of each station, and you carefully measure each line in centimeters, and you record that distance on column C of your data table. So it's the distance the seismic waves travel from the epicenter to the seismic station. So you've got the station numbers, the degrees, the geocentric angle, and the distance each one is from the epicenter. The next step will be calculating the actual distance in column D. And so it says here in step 5 to do that, convert the model distances to real Earth distances. You need the scale model you calculated previously. So we're going from centimeters to kilometers, and that's where the scale that you put here on your background for step B comes into place. So for instance, let's say that the scale of your model is 307 kilometers. 1 centimeter is equal to 307 kilometers on Earth. Then what you do for that is you take all of the centimeters that you have in column C and multiply them by 307 to get the kilometers for column D. So you're taking all of the values here for column C, multiplying them by that scale that you had in the background information, and you're putting that answer here. Please round to the nearest hundredth place. So look at your rounding carefully so that you don't make a mistake. The next step then would be to calculate the travel time in seconds. That's step 6. So we're using the idea that the constant velocity of seismic waves through rock is 11 kilometers per second. And we already know the distance of the seismic stations in kilometers. So we have rate of speed and we have distance, and we're calculating time. So we're going to do some division here. So to get the answer for column E, you take the answer you have in column D and divide it by this 11. So you might make a note above column E to take column D divided by 11 to get your travel time in seconds. And the next thing you do is convert that travel time to minutes. So how many seconds are in a minute? There's 60. So in order to convert the travel time in seconds to minutes, you divide by 60. So you can make a note above column F that you take the answer from column E, divide by 60. Every time you do a calculation and you get an answer in your calculator, round to the nearest hundredths place so that we don't lose a bunch of data. It might make sense to do each row one at a time. So when you calculate the distance in kilometers, you keep that answer in your calculator. Then you just take that divided by 11, keep that answer in your calculator, and take that divided by 60, keep that answer in your calculator, and then go and do the next row. It says to compare your results with another group. We won't do that at this time. I will have a spreadsheet that you will enter data in, so come find me and you'll enter your data in there. When that's all said and done, there's 2 more things that you need to do. So going back to this lab report, you need to do the background research. You're going to read the Structure of the Earth handout found on Canvas, summarize the last 3 paragraphs into 1 paragraph in the background research. So I'll show you where that's found. That document is right here, and you'll read through the whole thing, and you're going to summarize the last 3 paragraphs and put that summary as your background research. Then the last thing you'll do, you can start answering the conclusion questions. They are on the bottom here. You'll have this in more detail later, but you can write on your worksheet if you want, but start writing the answers to these questions so you have them for the conclusion of your lab report. Please see me if you have any questions. I'll be walking around to help you.